Well, good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a good day. Well, I suppose for some of us, it's afternoon by now, depending on your time zone, but wanted to welcome you to our 90-day reset, renew you class, teaching along with my favorite mentor, well, one of my bestest mentors, Rosie Gremmert. So welcome. And we just wanted to get started today by introducing ourselves because we know this will be a recorded class. So some of you we might know personally here, but when you watch the video, it's nice to know who you're talking about or talking to. So my name is Leah Burke, and I've been with doTERRA for over 10 years. It's getting closer to 15 actually now, but my kids have grown up in a doTERRA household, and our heart is to live a most healthy and uh, naturally minded lifestyle as we can. And by no means are we following strict rules, but we do the 80-20 of make the best choices you can most of the time. So I have a son who is in college. I have a daughter who's about to graduate, and my lovely husband, who's been by my side the whole time. So we'd love to share doTERRA. We live the product. You've used it for so long. I can't imagine life without it. But we love teaching and sharing. So that's about our family. And now, of course, Miss Rosie, her family is amazing. And Rosie, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so this upper picture is of our whole family. My husband and I have been married for 38 years. We have five sons and four amazing daughter-in-laws, and we now have 11 grandchildren. This picture was taken about a year and a half ago. And I'd like to show both of these pictures here because you can see that one down at the bottom where we were trying to do the grandkid picture. And my one daughter-in-law is like, if you just take one more picture, I'll give you a sucker, it's like to the one little one. And then off on the other side, he is done. He's just DONE. And his dad's like trying to coerce him to go into the picture with Grammy and Papa. And I put these both up here when I introduced my family because this is real life. Like this is the way things really go. We have our targets, we have our plans, we have everything that things that we shoot for. And then there's the way that it really unfolds. And that physical, emotional, spiritual resiliency, like how much you have in reserves in the well of yourself, makes it so that you can cope with all of those things better. And Leah mentioned we live the 80-20 rule. And we do too. We eat as well as we can. We take the highest quality supplements. We're proactive about our health and wellness care so that when things go a little different than what we were planning, we're empowered. I worked in respite and hospice for 23 years. I still work in the healthcare industry. And I basically, though, tell people I'm a holistic health coach. And I know that one of the reasons why I'm here on this earth is to help people to feel their very best so that they can be free to serve others and to show up in the ways they want to in their life. So we're excited that you're here today, and we have just so much to share with you. Oh, Leah, look, I left that next class September 25th on there.
Oh, oops.
I'm so sorry, you guys. That is not true, but at the end of the slideshow, you'll see when we've got our next classes listed. So today we are going to cover three things. How to have a wellness mindset. So talking about some of the things that Leah and I just touched on, how to meet your body's needs. doTERRA's products are pure and potent and powerful. And then about this 90-day reset that we're so excited to share with you. And in email, you did get these couple of handouts, and I'm going to pop into the chat right now. One of them is the vitality assessment. And if you haven't done it yet, that's okay, but we do want to make sure that you have it because it is such an amazing tool to measure where you're at right now and to help you get really clear on what you want to target for what we will call targeted support. And then the other thing is the handout that goes along with this class. So you can choose to open those up on your computer, have them in the background to be able to look at them, but know that just like right here, how we've got the picture of the handout on the screen, even if you're like, I can't figure out how to open those up, or maybe you're watching the recording, you're like, I don't have those. We've got it right there on the screen. I am trying to get the slide to move. There we go. This is an example of what those look like, that vitality assessment. And then like you'll hear us say a few times this, what's your targeted support? And if you don't get them in your email later or beforehand, then you'll get them afterwards. And if you're watching the recording, reach out to the person who sent you the recording and they can make sure that you get copies of them too. Okay, Leah, did you want to talk here? This is you, I think.
Yes. So one thing that's really important when we're talking about health is to understand that everything is connected. Like how we sleep, what we eat, our blood sugar, our energy levels, everything is intertwined. It's not just one thing. So if you're having, respiratory issues, what else is going on in the body? If you are having weight issues, what else is going on in the body? If you're low energy, what else? And so we really want to make sure that we understand that we can't really only target one thing. Like there's targeted support for certain things, but when you don't have a foundation of intention and what you're trying to create, the bottom base of your whole house is going to fall over. And so it's really important, and if you don't take anything else away, that you understand that although you might be in this class or coming to learn for a specific targeted support, that we really need to focus on the foundation first, and then also add in that extra support. So we're going to talk about different products that we have that do help to create that, and just understanding for each of you that, if you want long, beautiful nails, you're going to have some foundational health. If you want your hair to be glamorous and your skin to be beautiful and you want to look like you're 20 forever, okay, maybe 30 or 40, but regardless, you're going to have to work on your foundational health. So that is really key, is understanding that all of our body, all of our spirit, all of our emotions, they all play together. They're not separate things, but when we're talking about health, it really is a full package.
I love that. The other thing, like with right here, right now, whether you took the assessment before the class or not, or you're just looking at this slide and you're like, oh, I can see some things I want to focus on. Just like I just popped in the comments, I just did the vitality assessment again myself. And what I realized is the areas that came up low for me were sleep, digestion, and metabolism. So this is something that we redo again and again and again so that you can get clarity that doing the vitality assessment. So right now, just pop into the chat, those of you that are here live, or if you're catching the recording later, you can put it in the comments down below. What are the 3 areas that you right now are like, yeah, I could focus on that? Or if only one is coming to mind, 1, 2, or 3, it's whichever it is that pops up is great. But it will help as we're going through the whole program if you've already gotten some clarity on these are areas that I want to target. So now what? Like, where do we start? We've done our very best to make this really clear, and we're actually going to move through things kind of quickly. But we have a longer version of this class. It's up on YouTube that if you want to be able to have that, ask the person that invited you, and they'll send you the link to that too. On here, you see this little picture. If you remember that game Whack-A-Mole, that's what symptoms or symptom chasing can feel like. Like you take care of one symptom and then something else pops up. Take care of another one and something else pops up. And so we're going to move into the differences between paying attention to symptoms or paying attention to root cause. So you can see these 2 differences here, right? The modern approach, Western medicine approach, or the natural approach, doing this with intention. So the intervention model is a little bit more like putting out fires. And doTERRA does have powerful solutions for putting out those fires. Like they have a deep blue stick that I don't want to live without. When I go and I doing a lot of yard work outside, or I go on a bike ride with my grandkids, I can need that. I can need to quote, put out that fire, right? I grab that deep blue stick and I can put it on my hip or I can put it on my knee. And I'm so grateful for that. And that same scenario, if I'm paying attention to the root cause instead, then I can make it so there's like less inflammation in the long run. This intervention as a model, like, can you see what it's designed to do? Like there's isolated synthetic ingredients. There's so many side effects. There's trillions and trillions of dollars that is spent on what they call healthcare, but it's really symptom chasing, right? And if you look at all that, then it's like, are we actually healthier? And I don't think that Leah and I are alone in saying no, because those needs are still there. The root cause needs are still there. So these are some sobering statistics. And you can see that it's not just old people, right? Adults 18 and over, 40% obesity, and 1 in 2, that's 50%, friends, have some form of diabetes. And those are just the ones that actually know that they have it. Like that could be higher. And take a look at that mental health concerns percentage. Again, that's just what is reported, right? Leah, I might be off on my slide numbers, but I think this is where you're taking over. Is that right?
I don't have the number. I can't see the numbers, but I'm happy to take over. So obviously with our modern approach, there is a time and a place for that. But what you're here for today is not just the Band-Aids, right? You're here today to really reestablish what's important, reestablish that we're going to look at a foundational health model and that you have the power and you have the control to take matters into your own hands. Now, sometimes you need extra supports, sometimes we need to rely on outside sources, but ultimately we are each individually responsible for managing our own health. And just, if you're a mom and you feel guilty for, taking time to walk your dog or go to the gym or, I lived through that and you feel bad because you always feel like you should be in need of your family and all of that. But now my kids are older and I realize that all of those bits of pieces of time that I took for myself really create a mom that now I can still be active and still be enjoying life with them and being able to go jet skiing or being able to go skiing. If I don't take care of myself 20 years ago, what would I be like today? And I think that's just so important that it's to understand that you are ultimately responsible for your own health. And when you look at your root issues, we can control so much of that. So understanding that, right now is the time for you to start working on root cause issues that you have control over, and then we'll put frosting on top for the targeted stuff.
Yeah, Leah, I just want to interject here. I'm so grateful that I started learning about natural solutions back when I was in my early 20s. At that time, my dad was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and my mom dove into natural ways to support the big guns that he was using. And without that, I went to my high school reunion just a couple of years ago, and I was literally floored at how unrecognizable my classmates were to me and how different their level of mobility, the amount of prescriptions they were on, the things they were able to do, and the things they were talking about that was their day-to-day reality. It was so drastically different from mine because I did begin taking the time to pay attention to root causes. I used to be part or owner in an herbal apothecary. So I came into essential oils through the herbal route, right? And I'm so grateful that I did, that I made that investment because I know that I have saved thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars over my dear friends from high school who showed up with walkers and canes, and they're in and out of doctor's offices, and they've been in and out of the hospitals, and just multiple things where their side effects are compounding and creating more and more situations, right? So a
Mhm.
little bit of a sideline, but that really struck me what you said about how important it is to pay attention to that, no matter what your age is. That investment is important.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And so we can just dive right into this. What is the intention, right? The intention is to build a foundation that really is solid. And it taking those daily habits, I get teased often now because I've kind of said it more than once that daily habits matter most. That has never changed in my tagline. And it really is those small things like what can you do now to create that foundation? And again, education is the first piece and then taking action. So, we want to make sure that we're addressing the body's like basic needs, right? Just like I know as Pavlov's hierarchy of needs, well, our body has a hierarchy of needs too, and it's going to focus on that foundation before anything else. So we want to make sure that we're utilizing the doTERRA products that we have as well as addressing clean drinking water, making sure we're moving our bodies and getting well rested at night. So, being able to prioritize using essential oils, even if you have a few of them at a time, that's going to make such an impact on your overall health. Now, of course, you want to use doTERRAs only. Don't go rogue, but stick with doTERRA.
Yeah, the purity matters. And one thing that I think is really important to understand here too is these natural solutions, they're organically packaged in a way that our body can access the things in the way that they are meant to be full. It's like the supplements are whole food supplements because that matrix of it being whole food means more absorbability for our bodies. It's more bioavailable. And with having completely pure essential oils, it's the same thing. There's no synthetics popped in there that are disrupting that natural chemical constituent. And so you're really giving your body the things that it needs to address the root causes. So essential oils and doTERRA's products don't heal. They give your body the building blocks and the pieces that it needs in order to be addressing those root causes. Your body wants to heal. So you're giving it all the things that it needs to be able to do that. So it's just this simple. Like, look at the difference between this and the one that was toppling over, right? A couple slides ago. You can build a strong foundation. And then when things do come along, just like the picture I talked about at the beginning with my family, you're ready, right? And then when things settle again, you can go back in. And just like if you're going to be repairing a brick wall, you could just go in and do some repairs, do some focus for a while, that targeted support, and move back to having this nice, strong foundational wellness. So only two things ever go wrong. I love, do you ever feel like this girl in the picture, Leah? Like,
Oh, all the time.
I know.
About 30 minutes
Yes,
ago.
sometimes I feel that way. But there's only two things that ever go wrong. And it's either too much of the wrong thing, or what I'll call something that's unresourceful, or too little of the right thing, or things that are resourceful, right? So when you are glancing at this list, those of you that are here on live, or if you're catching the recording, you can just put it in the comments. What things stand out to you? Like, what do you already know is maybe in a state of toxicity for you? Or what do you already know is in deficiency? Where is there too much of something that's not resourceful? Where is there not enough of the right thing? Because usually we kind of already know a little bit. You're like, oh, well, yeah, I guess last week I only had 3 servings of vegetables total all week long. I mean, not that's not me, but that was me at one point in my life, right? I can remember that being me. So you can pop that in the comments. You can write it down on your handout. If you printed it out, you can just take it on your notes. Capture what you already know, where there's too much of the wrong thing, something that's not helping, or too little of the right thing.
Mhm.
The list can be overwhelming, right? 9 out of 10 of the most impactful risk factors are tied to poor nutrition. So what if a whole bunch of the things that are here on this list, you could be mitigating or having a major impact on just with your nutrition, right? I mean, look at these stats. That's a little disheartening. And this is true even for people who are trying to focus on their health and wellness. I've been surprised as I've gone in and done blood work. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean my zinc is that low? Like, this is something I pay attention to, right? So it's staggering. And yet these are the things that our bodies need in order to have that foundational wellness. And this is some of the stuff where we get too much of the things that aren't resourceful. I mean, look at that bottom little box, that brown box in the bottom. The pesticide can stay in the body for 50 plus years. So even if you're like Leah and I, and we've spent the last almost 15 years with using these potent and pure products, many times I'll do a detox 4 times a year. Well, I'm 57 years old. So I haven't probably been able to still clear out things that I would have been exposed to as a teenager, right? And this is not our great grandparents' world anymore. So many of the things that are these toxins have been created in the last 50 years. Our body wasn't built to manage the complex chemical situations that are in our everyday life, right? Did you have anything you wanted to share here, Leah?
Yeah, I think sometimes even when we do the best that we can, like you can spend all your time and energy, which in my opinion is not healthy, on trying to be healthy. So you have to relax some, but realizing that even with our best efforts and the most strict, you know, thought process, there are things you can just not avoid. So being proactive is just super important.
Here's just a little bit more, and you can see, again, the little box down in the bottom tells some of those pathways of exposure. So things that you breathe in, things that's touching on your skin, things that you eat and drink. And so look at all these things, and then the consequences. And I know I see more and more and more and more of all of these things, younger and younger, with the people that I help support. And so this isn't just something to tuck off on the shelf and think, oh, I'll worry about it someday. It really is something to pay attention to right now at the level that you can, right?
Well, and I think here in that picture, we
Oh,
really look at like a global picture, right? We're like, oh
yeah.
my gosh, I don't live in a city. Right? Or I don't live by a manufacturing facility. Like at first it feels far away, but when you really come down to it, it's what's in your air at your home. What, candles are you burning? What fragrances are you putting on your body? What are you putting on your skin? What, and that's in your home. What laundry
Mhm.
detergents are you putting in your clothing? Like all of those are disruptors to our endocrine and our body systems. So even
Mhm.
though that picture really looks like, oh, well, to me, that's how I take it, that looks
Yeah,
really far away. But really, the breathing in is in our home, the eating, the drinking, that's in our home. So,
it is. Well, if you look at that list of causes, even nuclear waste, most homes in the US and Canada have a microwave. And so there's nuclear emissions that come from those things. And we have all of these things in our homes, unless we're intentionally getting and using products that don't have these
right.
different things in there. So could you imagine if every single home had this kind of a focus where they removed the things that weren't resourceful? It would completely change manufacturing because nobody would be buying those things that weren't clean anymore, right? So again, just to summarize, health and well-being comes from 2 things. And this is your emotional, your physical, and yes, even your spiritual health and well-being, because it's all connected, right? If you get enough of the right things and you avoid too much of the wrong things, and again, not an obsession. We believe in being healthy and balanced in our approaches. I had the situation about 2010 or 11 where I went and heard a presenter speak, and she talked about the amazing benefits of the simple habit of having a green smoothie every single day. And she talked about how when you're putting that much good in, because you've got this like condensed green smoothie, you have less room for some of those other things. And it also does this beautiful thing of helping your body to clear out some of those buildups that we talked about, right? This simple habit of a green smoothie every single morning. So I've now spent lots of years since, since 2010, 2011, having a green smoothie almost every single day. Like, honestly, this has become a habit for me. And that one simple habit, this is a true principle. When you're putting in more of the good, you just don't have as much room physically and mentally for the bad. So I think, were you going to talk here, Leah? We've lost track of who's doing what slides, you guys.
I'm happy.
Thanks for being patient with us.
I think this really just goes back to, meeting those root needs. That's what we're here for. That's what we want to keep saying over and over because it really is so important. But when we're looking at a 90-day reset plan, we really want to understand that there's different actions that the body has to take. We need to get our bodies ready. We need to, start in our gut. That's kind of where everything is housed, right? And then we're going to, fuel the body. We're going to move out the yucky stuff, and then we're going to address the extra little fringe problems, right? So
yeah, we do have a plan. Like, we've spent years and years and years supporting people with this. And so there's pieces of this that in each of the 3 months, you do some things that are in the activate column, you do some things that are in the build column, you do some things that are in the cleanse column, and then always space for that targeted support, right? So just like a car needs this, like at a glance, you can see, oh yeah, that makes sense, right? This is our body. Our body has similar things that we need to be paying attention to all the way across. And this helps you to identify, oh, what falls into which area. And what we've done is we've taken this and we've spread it out over 3 months so that you really can see those shifts and changes. And during the course of that 3 months, every 30 days, you take that wellness assessment again, that vitality assessment again, so you can see the shifts and you can see if there's a different targeted support area that maybe has come up that needs to have your attention in that time for that next 30 days.
Yep.
So month 1 is basically a preparation month, which what Leah was speaking to that also. And we make sure that you've got the building blocks that you need, get the digestion moving, and get those chimneys starting to be open, those elimination pathways, so that then when you move into month 2 and we do more of a focused cleanse and detox, you're not having detox responses. We've gotten everything all ready for you to have a gentle and effective detox without feeling like you have to be like stuck to the bathroom all day long, right? And then month 3, we really focus on replenishing the gut and like planting more seeds to get you in a completely different space with those building blocks inside your body than you were when we started at the beginning of the program.
Yep.
So there's 3 phases, there's 3 months, and there's 3 objectives. So I like you to be able to see this sheet like this because you can see how all 3 months we're targeting things in all 3 areas. And then there's still space for, if you're like, but I really would like to lose some weight, so I want targeted support to be weight loss, right? In that category. So it's easy to get the building blocks that are necessary to really have the shifts and changes and still be able to pay attention to that symptom or that whack-a-mole, right? Or that targeted support that you're looking for while you're making those foundational shifts. Was this you, Leah? I'm the one that's confused, I think.
So in month 1, we really do want to really start the establishing of your habits. And that becomes really important. And then also in making sure, like Rosie said, we want to start with a gentle cleanse. There's a ton of cleanses that you can read about or you'll hear people talk about, and they can be pretty dramatic, quite frankly. And that's not necessarily always, in my opinion, like the best for your body. You really do want to prepare your body. You really do want to make sure you're setting your body up for success, because ultimately when we're creating habits and lifestyle and longevity, like we're going to be doing this on a regular basis, and we don't want to be shocking our body, right? Like our bodies, you might be starting from someone who already eats pretty clean, but we still have a need to do a cleanse and a 90-day program. Or you might be someone who this is all brand new for you. And so you really want to be gentle and careful and thoughtful in how you're introducing new things to your body. So with month one, we're really focusing on the foundation, the creating the habits, being kind to our body, and introducing new supplements.
This, on the bottom, you guys can see it says LL, or in the middle, LLV or VMG. So that bottom picture right there, that VMG in the green box, that is one of doTERRA's newest products. And I know that some of our friends that are on live and some of the people catching the recording, you've perhaps used the Lifelong Vitality Pack, or what I have in there is LLV before. The difference here is that VMG is a powder, so it's a little sachet. So you can just rip it open, put it in your water, mix it up with a frother or in a shaker bottle, and it is all of your whole food nutrition, and so your whole food vitamins and minerals, right? All in a powder, and greens together. So that benefit I was talking about of like the green smoothie every day, it's in this little handy to use package. And then you can see the orange bottle on the side of the lower picture. That's the new Omega Plus, and it is more bioavailable than the previous Omega. Now, if you're a Lifelong Vitality Pack lover and you just want to stick with that because you know it works for you, that is available as an option. But Leah and I, both having been Lifelong Vitality Pack lovers, are here to say you've got to give the VMG a try instead. And we recommend anybody starting new to do their month one and do their program with the VMG. And there's no benefit to us which one you pick. It just really is simpler. Instead of 12 pills of the 3 bottles, you've got the 3 pills of your Omega and then the sachet, and you can just have them together. You mix up your drink and you take your 3 pills and you're done for the whole day. So there's no forgetting the afternoon dose of your supplements, right? Did you have anything you wanted to say, Leah? Like, I love this product. It's one of my favorites.
I love it too. And I love like that. I like to drink so much water, and I'm happy drinking clean, plain water, but having something fun to quickly just take with me on the go and then add it in throughout my day. Love it. My husband, he is like, yeah, this is good. My teenager, she likes it. My 20-year-old, he likes it. So we're hitting a lot of different demographics,
Yeah.
and, a lot of ease into adding this to your day. So
Yeah. Even my own husband, I videotaped him, and he's looking at me all skeptically because it's green, right? And this is a construction worker type of airplane builder guy. And he takes a drink and he's like, oh, it's not bad. He takes another drink and then he goes, oh, that's good, actually.
yep. Kind of got the same.
Yeah. So here, just really clearly, you can take a picture if you want to. It shows that month one. And again, in that build area, we'd recommend the new VMG Plus instead with the Omegas. And the activate part, we're going to break it down a little bit on these products, because I think sometimes what can happen is you don't know what you don't know. And like, why are we saying that you should have these things in these different sections? And as you go into each month, we'll make sure you know why you're using the things, but we're going to break down the month one things for you in this class today so that you can really get an idea of why you're taking the things. So I love this PB Restore. As a holistic health coach, I actually, first of all, I used to order my probiotics from Europe before doTERRA. I was 100% in love with the PB Assist, and there were still, so that we had this PB Assist was our probiotic before, and it's a capsule in a capsule. So the inner capsule isn't released till it's all the way down in your gut. And like that technology in a supplement just is nowhere else. It's doTERRA has patented that. And I was blown away by the impact people had just from the PB Assist. But I still would have people do this 72-hour ferment of making their own yogurt so they could get some other specific types of bacteria, some different prebiotics that weren't being found in autopsies when they were doing them in developed countries, right? And when the PB Restore was released and I saw the list of all the things that were in it, I just about jumped up and down for joy, because it meant that all the people that I had coached to be fermenting their own food so that they get a fuller spectrum of probiotics, they're in there. And because it's this capsule in a capsule and the way that it's all put together, you don't have to refrigerate it. Like, you can if you want to, it's not going to hurt it, but it also makes it so easy for our busy lifestyle and for working and for traveling and all of those things. So I love this. It even has cultures in there that help to support our mental health, things that help with creating neurotransmitters and shifting things that have to do with people's mental health. So this is hands down one of my favorite products.
Yeah, and then the Terrazyme, gosh, I've learned so much about enzymes over the years that I didn't know I didn't even know. And, we often talk about, hearing enzymes and relating that only to food. And while our bodies need to have enzymes to digest our food, so many different body systems also use enzymes. However, our body is going to first focus the enzymes that we get from our food, which is only going to come from uncooked raw fruits and vegetables. Those enzymes are going to be using your digestive system first. So if your other body systems are not well supported and there's not enough, they just go without. And I thought that was really fascinating to learn, that really so many different parts of our bodies need the enzymes, but if it runs out, it's just going to quit. So, it does play into how do we think? How does our body break down, lactic acid after a workout? Get that really sore muscles. Taking some extra enzymes will really help your body process through that painful period a lot more quickly. So if you're new to working out, you might want to have a couple extra Terrazyme. If you obviously are eating something that's not settling well in your tummy, the enzymes will help break that down, but it goes way beyond that. And I think with doTERRA's enzymes, I love that, it has the enzyme, the essential oils in there as well. And so it really does tame your tummy, but it also helps to break down the proteins and the fats and the carbohydrates and everything else that you might consume so that your body can turn those into energy. They can utilize the nutrients that are from other food sources, or even when you're taking your Terra greens or your greens or other healthy like protein drinks, taking a Terrazyme with that will help activate those proteins to be utilized the most efficiently and effectively within our body. So you really can't go wrong by adding the Terrazyme. Now, of course, if all you eat are fruits and vegetables that are raw and uncooked, you're a step ahead of most, but that's very unlikely for the general population. So adding in some enzymes on a daily basis really can be very supportive to every body system, not just your gut.
Yeah, I love it. And I've had some people I've coached and have been like, well, I really like my papaya enzyme that I have, or this enzyme that I have. See that top line? It's a blend of 10 active whole food enzymes. So instead of taking this one for lactose and this one for that and this one for this, Terrazyme covers all the bases. And that first blue line reduces demand on the body for internal production of enzymes. Like, you need enzymes, your body needs enzymes for brain support. Your body needs enzymes for all these other things, tissue repair, like what Leah was talking about. And so by taking and having more digestive enzymes, your body's not pulling them from other things. You're going to see increases in some of these other processes working better because you're getting enough enzymes, even if you do eat whole food raw all the time, right? They're still so beneficial.
Yeah. And I think one thing to really take note, like Rosie was saying in that top line there, that there's multiple enzymes. When we take our probiotics, there's multiple probiotics. And I think we really need to applaud doTERRA for really watching out for us, not only to give us the purity and the most like fantastic products ever, but they're not leaving things out. They're always thinking past one kind of enzyme or three kinds of probiotics. They really give us such a powerhouse in our products that we really are spoiled. And I think that's really important that we acknowledge that it really is a top-notch product line.
The next phase, the next category, I should say, in month one is that build, the fuel the body part. One of the questions that came up in the chat on live, and I'll capture it here for people that catch the recording, is can we trade our, like if we've got unopened bottles of the Lifelong Vitality Pack in order to get the VMG Plus instead? Because we already said it's a brand new product. And doTERRA does have a really great return policy. So you'd have to reach out to customer service and you can find out, they can look back at your orders and see when you purchased it, depending on when that was purchased, those unopened bottles can be returned and you can have a credit on your account that then you can use that credit to buy the VMG instead. So you can reach out to whoever it is that helped you set up your doTERRA account. They might be able to help you with that, or reach out to customer support. So that is a possibility. And they've got different tiers of support on that. If it's been so many days, then you can return the product for money. If it's been so many days, it goes to a credit on your account. And I don't know all the details of all of that, but the person who helped you set up your account can find out for you, or you can contact doTERRA's customer service. So this is where we're going to fuel the body. And we have this other product here on the side that we haven't talked a lot about, this Mito 2 Max. And the Mito 2 Max, just like the name implies, it helps to feed your, oh, I thought we had a slide on that. It helps to feed your mitochondria. And I know Leah and I both try to avoid stimulants like that are strong stimulants, right? She's a coffee drinker. I'm not a coffee drinker, but even at that, I know she's a responsible coffee drinker. And what I love about this Mito 2 Max is it will give me a genuine whole sense of energy, but there's no stimulants in it because it's giving my mitochondria what it needs. So I can rely on this, like when I'm traveling, or if I've had a disrupted night of sleep, or I just need to extend myself a little bit more, or I need an extra like boost in the morning, but it's not like an artificial stimulant at all. And the reason why we have it as part of this build is most people are deficient in this area. Their mitochondria needs some more support. Leah, I know this is one of your favorite products too. Did you have something you wanted to share about Mito 2 Max?
I love this product so much because I do like to be on the go naturally, and even when I don't want to, right? But I do work super early in the morning, and then I tend to have a strong foundation of health that keeps my body and my brain going until almost 10 o'clock at night. So I start at work at 5 a.m. So you can imagine that that's a full day. But I love that with the Mito 2 Max, like it's just a perfect addition to go with my vitamins, because I know that I do drink coffee, but I drink not actually as much as people think. I do work at a coffee shop, so I'm kind of predisposed here, but I really do drink just a small amount of coffee every day. And then I know in my afternoon, rather than drinking more coffee, I can do the Mito 2 Max. And it does help me get through an afternoon workout, or running around with, kids' doctor's appointments, or things that I want to do at church, and activities I'm part of. Like, I just tend to be surprised. Like, do I get tired? Yes, everybody gets, has moments of being sleepy. But I'm always forever grateful that I don't tend to have to walk around being like, oh my gosh, I am so tired. And how many people do you hear that on a regular? I bet if you go through your whole day and running into 10 people, one of the first things out of their mouth, I'd say 50% or more, will say, oh, I'm great. I'm just so tired. I'm great. I'm just so tired. And it's not just the physical body that's tired anymore, but our mental capacity to be tired. We can all raise our hand and be like, there's a lot going on in the world and in our families and in our lives. Like, mentally, we want to be sharp still. So I love the Mito 2 Max. I think you can't go wrong. I do take it pretty regularly, and usually for me, I'll take it right before bed, because then I wake up and I'm ready to go. Now, a lot of people take it midday or even in the morning. So you kind of have to play around with it and see what works best for you. Um, if your targeted support is going to lean into the sleep area, you might want to make sure to take it in the morning. But I tend to go to sleep, but I don't have that. I don't have a hard time sleeping. So I can take it right before bed and have no problem. But it's something to play with and see how it will fit best for you. Um, but I love it. I do love it.
Yeah, I love it. It's a daily use product for me, even when I'm not doing a 90-day transformation. Part of that I think is because I am 57 and I feel like my mitochondria can use all the support that they can get. And so it's just part of my afternoon supplements that I take is to take that. Now we did already talk a little bit about this VMG, but I wanted to make sure that you could see how much it really did stand out. And one of the things I love about it as someone who has MTHFR is that these vitamins are methylated. So somebody who doesn't have that genetic disposition, you can have methylated vitamins and they're just as beneficial for you as ones that are non-methylated. But for somebody who does have that, and statistics are showing that it can be upwards to 50% of the population, many people just don't even know that they do. They just feel like, why do I have brain fog? Why am I tired all the time? Why do I feel so sluggish? Or why have I had these other things that doctors can't quite pinpoint, like doing a bunch of symptom chasing that can't quite figure out what it is. And then they do some blood work and they find out that it's MTHFR. And so
Can you explain
this,
what that is? Because I didn't know what that was, and
oh, yeah,
we forget that people don't know what that is.
yeah, MTHFR is just a genetic uh, situation that some people will have where you can't use your vitamins, you can't break them down, particularly B and D and some other ones. And then they actually end up creating, just like we've talked about in this class, creating some things that are out of whack because your body doesn't have a way to like filter those things out and get them. Not only are you not using them, but it kind of gums things up. And so you end up with some of these different side effects, right? So it's funny because it'll be like, yeah, it's the genetic disease that sounds like a swear word,
Yes.
MTHFR.
Well, and I
But
think so, one of the scientists, even from stage, and I've heard this before, but they really talk about like, um, you can take all the vitamins in the world, but if you're not absorbing it, it's no good. So
yeah,
it's not like, what is it that you're going to take that's good, but what are you actually absorbing?
yeah.
So
You're only as good as your vitamins, only as good as what you absorb. The other thing that's really great to know about this is there's 5 proprietary blends inside of this VMG to help support your wellness. So there's the nutrition blend, and that's plant-based vitamins and minerals, right? And some essential cofactors like Leah had talked about. There's a superfood blend, so you're getting all of those greens in there. So you've got some phytonutrients, you've got your antioxidants, you've got more minerals and more vitamins. There's a cellular support blend inside of here. So there's things to help support your cells. And there's also enhanced nutrients that they've patented the way that they have been put together. That's still all whole food, but that's why this one little packet can have your whole day worth of vitamins in it instead of having the 12 things all together. Go ahead.
I'm really sorry. I'm having an emergency. I'm going to have to pop out of the class.
Okay,
I'm so sorry.
you're great. Leah, come back in if you can join us again.
Okay. Thank you.
So that's just some more about this VMG and the Omega Plus and why we recommend it as part of this program. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off Leah's video here. She's jumped off. There we go. And so there are lots of vitamins out there on the market, and many of them are full of synthetics and things that actually can be doing some damage. And I put this in because I want you to know that this is not doTERRA. doTERRA's products are all highly tested and they are pure. And not only that, like when I first started meeting the owners back in 2011, one of their foundational reasons for staying as a privately owned company, not being managed by a board where somebody else would be making decisions only based on the financial impacts of it, was that they wanted to have control of what was in the products. There's there's a practice in the supplement world that's called fairy dusting, where they will put into the supplement enough of a particular studied component to make it so they can put it on the label that says has da da da, right? And yet it's not the amount that's in the study. So you're not going to see the impacts that when you go and look up that thing, you see it in the studies. And doTERRA didn't want to have a part of that at all. And so this is really important to be taking vitamins that don't have synthetics and fillers in them, because we don't want you to be dealing with any more of the bad, right? Coming in and what you think is trying to be helping you be healthier. So here's a little bit more about that Mito 2 Max. You can take a picture of that if you want. Part of what it does with the building, with this production of the ATP cells in the cells, is it also is helping in a gentle way things that aren't resourced in the cells to have a way to go out to. All of that production and also exhaust at the cellular level is supported by the MetaPower. The Zendocrine Detoxification Complex, I put this in here because you'll see that there's, if you ever go look at doTERRA's product list, you'll see there's Zendocrine Oil, there's Zendocrine Complex, which is what this one is, and there's also Zendocrine Soft Gels, which is the oil inside of a little clear soft gel. For this program, we recommend the Zendocrine Complex, and it is actually an herbal complex that helps to support many different parts of your body being able to eliminate. So it's part of month 2 also, but we put it here in month 1 because it helps support your kidneys and your liver in particularly, to help just gently shake stuff up. Like, think about if you have a shower and you want to be able to clean all the tile, and you'll spray the cleaner on first, and then you go off and work on something else for a while so that when you come back, a whole bunch of it comes off. And then you can do some targeted deeper cleaning on the areas that didn't get clean from that initial. So this, using the Zendocrine Complex and doing a gentle cleansing in that first month, is a little bit like spraying the tile so that it can do its own work and loosen things up, so you'll have a more effective and gentler second month with the program. This tells you all the different things that are in that Zendocrine Complex and why it's important for this part of the program. If you don't pay attention to loosening things up and taking out the trash at the first month of our 90-day program, then you'll end up with maybe some things like a little bit more, some people will end up with some more breakouts on their face or on their back. Some people might end up with maybe some brain fog or some headaches or some more tiredness. All these things can be side effects of if you're trying to like detox too much too fast. And so by putting this into month 1, we're giving all of these great supports to help all of these exit ways, these exit pathways in your body to get ready for what we're going to do in month 2. The MetaPower Metabolic Blend is an essential oil blend that we have in the program as well, because it helps with all of these things. So it's positioned in doTERRA's product line is to support your metabolism, and yet all of the oils that are in it also help with doing some detox, right? So this is great. We're going to help support digestion. We're going to do some gentle detoxing. We're going to have things that work on some of those other foundational pieces like your cholesterol, your blood glucose levels, and it's all packaged in this one little blend. So it's a perfect addition into month 1 to be helping you get off to a really great start. Now, this slide right here that I keep skipping past, I have it in here because I want to remind you that if you haven't been to one of our beginning essential oil classes, that you'll want to reach out to the person that invited you to the class and definitely access one of those, because you'll find out why is doTERRA so different? Why can we use doTERRA's oils internally? How potent are essential oils? How do they access things inside the cell membrane, like these different things that are on here. Like, what are they? What do you mean they're not oils? I thought essential oils were oils. So this is so that you are reminded, if you haven't been to an essential oil like 101 or one of our beginning classes, we want to have you have that foundation to know why they're safe and effective. They are the most tested oils on the market, and they're the most pure. And they're the ones that are actually used in research studies by different professionals and medical facilities around the world. So you can tell at a glance which ones you can use internally because they have a supplement facts label right on them. So this is doTERRA's peppermint oil, and there's that supplement facts label. Whereas here's the balance blend, which is another one of my favorites. But as I spin the bottle, you'll see there's ingredients. There's a little code so I can look and see the testing behind the bottle, like what tests were run on it. But there's no supplement facts label on the balance because it's just meant to be used in a diffuser, or I can swipe it under my nose, or I can put it on my skin. I can inhale it, right? It's meant for topical and aromatic use only. So these are the 3 boxes that we've gone through and checked off: activate, build, and cleanse, and now targeted support. So you are invited to take your vitality assessment and identify some specific things for your targeted support. Remember that these are things where you need some support right now. Maybe there's some pain, some inflammation. Maybe you've been dealing with something in particular. doTERRA's got some great, great, great resources for helping, like Digest Zen Blend is amazing for helping with your digestive system. Clary Calm is phenomenal for things that have to do with women's hormones. And it doesn't mean that just because we're working on foundational wellness that you have to just put up with or ignore those things you'd like to see shift faster. And this is where we stand out, because you have a wellness advocate that invited you to this class, and that wellness advocate wants to help you hone in on the very best products that will be for your targeted support. So if you haven't done that wellness assessment yet, then make sure you do it. It's in the email from you registering to come to the class. Make sure you do that. And then you'll be able to have your wellness advocate help you identify the best things to put into that targeted support box for you for month 1 and month 2 and month 3. This is where on the handout where you'd be able to jot those things down, right? And every 30 days you take that wellness assessment again so that you can help hone in and see those shifts and those changes that you've been going through. There's also a place on the class handout where you can jot those things down. You're like, I think I want this. I think I want this. Or even if you don't know what the products are, I want to support digestion. I want to support sleep. I want to support this and that. So that's where you would put that in there. So the way that you get started, just like we had showed you before, as we will help you, either the person that invited you to the class or myself or Leah, we will help you to get the things into the cart to make your bundle for your month 1 with our program. There's 3 ways to buy doTERRA. You might already have a wholesale membership or a wellness advocate account with doTERRA. So that would be how you would purchase the products that we're talking about. If you don't already have an account with doTERRA, some people choose to buy retail. Honestly, since 2011, all the years that I've been doing this, only a handful of people have chosen retail. It's the most expensive way, and usually what happens is someone's like, oh, I just want to buy 1 bottle of Balance. And then they give it a try and they learn more about doTERRA. And then they're like, oh, well, that was silly. I just need to set up a wholesale membership so I can get 25% off. So I can end up with my shipping being paid for. So I can get back points. I can spend like dollars. And this wholesale membership account, it's just like having a Costco account. You're not a representative. You're not selling to other people. You're not somebody who's teaching classes. In fact, actually, you can't be earning money with that wholesale membership. And then that below wholesale is because if you're having regular orders, you can end up with getting free products and all these other pieces. So those are the 3 different ways to buy. This, you might want to take a picture of this slide, because this is where, when you did your wellness assessment, your vitality assessment, if you're like, I want to work on weight and metabolic health, then the top recommendations for each of the different areas in the vitality assessment are listed right on here. If you want to work on digestion, you can see the fiber, the digestin, either the soft gels, the touch, or the tabs, or peppermint. Like, you can see the list of products that are most frequently used for the different areas. I like to make sure that you know, if you're someone who is setting up your order for the first time, there are some special perks for you. If your order is at least 100 PV, and the PV stands for product value, the wholesale product value, then you get free shipping. And that is actually true for people who are existing members of doTERRA too. But then if you don't already have an account and you're setting up a new account, if it's 150 PV or higher, then you get to pick one of these free gifts, and it will automatically pop up. Like, you don't have to know ahead of time. It pops up when you're setting up a new membership, and you can either pick a Pebble diffuser, the foaming hand wash concentrate and dispenser, or an On Guard Super Mint, and an doTERRA On Guard whitening toothpaste. So 2 toothpastes is the third gift, and that's just for new members. We always like to make sure you understand this is a 3-month plan, because we know that when you've had things going on in your body for months and many times years, a good rule of thumb is to think of, oh, if I've been dealing with this thing for 6 years, a good rule of thumb when you're talking about foundational wellness is that it may take you 6 months of focus. So about a month for every year to be able to give the body what it needs to do the things that it was intended to do. And so as you're going through, and whether you're setting up your account for the first time or you're getting ready for the next month, we want you to know that there's ways to have it be more economical for you. So when you're first setting up your account, if you don't have a wholesale account already, and you put those things in the cart, if you click subscribe on a couple of the things, and one of the things that is going to be used the next month also is this VMG with the Omega and your Terrazyme and your PB Restore. Click subscribe on those items, because then you'll get back 25 LRP points. Those points spend just like dollars. And you'll also get 10% back in points automatically onto your account too, just by hitting subscribe right there. And if you set that order up, that one for the next month, so it runs on or before the 15th, which you would be, because if you're watching this live, we're near the beginning of the month, then you will also get a free product, because every single month doTERRA has a free product if your loyalty order is 125 PV or higher and it runs on or before the 15th of the month. And many times it's a full-size bottle of something that you get for free. It's usually about a $25 value that you get for free. There are some specials just for people setting up that new account, and this speaks to that right here. I am part of a leadership development program where I'm helping other leaders to grow and develop, and it's called Diamond Club. So that promo code that's right up there, this is for people setting up their account for the first time only. You can put that promo code in to where it asks, do you have a promo code? And it is case sensitive, and that will get you a free balance oil if your order is at least 100 PV. And if your order is 200 PV, you'll get the balance blend and the adaptive touch roll-on. And then of course, these bonus LRP points are also connected to the Diamond Club code. So if you're brand new setting up your account, you're back in here and you want to be able to get those extra free points, make sure that you're putting this code in. doTERRA also in this month of October 2024 has what we call a 200 PV special. And so there's additional free things that you can get, a free fiber and another free oil if your order is at least that 200 PV. So again, reach out. If you're brand new, you don't have an account yet, reach out to the person that invited you to watch this video. You can use that code, whether that person is connected to me on my doTERRA team or not. doTERRA has this phenomenal culture where we're here to just help support everybody no matter where they're at. It's part of the leadership development piece that I was talking about. But if you are connected to me on my team, then you can also feel free, like if the person who's invited you is also part of my doTERRA team, then we for sure want to help you to make sure that you can leverage all of these pieces and get these pieces for free if you don't already have your account. So we serve 3 different types of people. One is the person that wants to change their own life. And every single person in our doTERRA wellness community, it starts here. We actually walk the walk and talk the talk. This isn't just about building a big network marketing business. This is, I am here because of the products. doTERRA changed my life. And so that is the first circle, is supporting yourself and helping your own wellness to be the best that it can be, and those people that you care about, that you interact with every single day. The next type of person is that person, they want to help some other people. A lot of times this is the kind of person who gathers a few people at their home, or they like to be able to share our affiliate link and help other people to get the products and get a little bit of a kickback for being able to do that. Some what they call doTERRA dollars that you can spend on products. And then the last is people that don't want to just change a few people's lives, but they really want to make a difference and make a different level of income and freedom in their own life, and also to be able to help support lots of people in changing their lives. And that's the third type of person. You can expect to be able to have education from whoever it is that helps you to set up your wholesale membership. You're going to have support with this program every single month of knowing what to order and how to use the products. On our YouTube channel, we've got recorded classes that you can watch on all these different topics. And as part of the program, we also have trackers that you get so you can check off what you're doing. And again, like we talked about before, you'll take that vitality assessment again each 30 days so you can really measure your changes and see where you're at. If you know somebody else who needs to hear this, we've recorded it. I'm going to put it up on our YouTube channel. And also, if you registered for the class, I'm going to send you the link to that so you can share it with other people. And if you want to be able to gather some of your friends to come together for a class, we can do that too. It can be virtual, or if you're local, it can be in person. And all you need to do is just let the person who invited you know, hey, I want to help my friends learn about this. And then there's different prizes that you can get for that. Now, I mentioned the doTERRA dollars because anybody who has even a wholesale membership with doTERRA, you have a special magic link, and you can share that magic link out to people. And if they decide to purchase, then anything that they purchase, you get 20% back in doTERRA dollars that go onto your doTERRA account, and you can spend them just like cash. It can be used on product or diffusers or your shipping or anything. And this can be up to $599 per year that you can get back as an affiliate doTERRA dollar, kind of like a reloadable gift card. And it's kind of a newer program. So if you've been in doTERRA for a while, this was launched about a year ago, and people are having lots of fun with it, and they're being able to use it to help pay for their own product. So it's a great program. I love it. These are our next classes that are coming up. Again, you can take a screenshot of this if you want. We're going to do some targeted support education on sleep on Wednesday, the 16th. And then directly after that at 7:30, we will do one of our business breakouts that is focusing specifically on the compensation plan. So you can join us for both of those on Wednesday, the 16th, or you can just join for one or the other. And then on Friday, the 18th at 11 a.m., there will be a Building Your doTERRA Business. And that one is basically how to get started and what doTERRA's resources are to help you to be able to do that. I'm super grateful that you guys joined today. Thank you for being here with us. The people that have been on live, I'm going to stop the recording. And then if you have any questions at all, I'm here to answer them for you.